Right. How are we all doing? Hope you're all keeping well. Scotland got beat by Brazil. Our Rangers boys were out there on the pitch giving it everything. But honestly, I'm not bothered about that today. We've got bigger fish to fry. We've got proper Rangers business to talk about. The first signing of the Derek McInnes era is done. A Scotland international coming home to Ibrox. The fee has been revealed, and I'll tell you now, you'll want to hear this number. The contract length will shock you, and wait until you hear which position McInnes might actually play him in, because it's not the one everybody's expecting. Stick the kettle on, settle in, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Right, so according to the lads down at the Rangers Review, and backed up by what's come out in the Daily Record and Ibrox News as well, it's finally happening. Ross McCrorie is coming home. And listen, I did a wee video on this yesterday, just the bare bones of it, just the headline really. But now we've got the full picture, all the details, the fee, the contract length, the lot. So sit tight, because there's a lot to chew on here. Now, the Rangers Review are saying the fee is around £900,000. The Daily Record reckon it's closer to 1.5 million. Somewhere in between, that's where the truth usually sits, isn't it? And honestly, whether it's 900 grand or 1.5 million, I'll tell you something for nothing, right? In this market, for a Scotland international who can play across the back four and in midfield, that's daylight robbery in our favour. Daylight robbery. You've got championship clubs down in England paying 3, 4, 5 million for lads who couldn't lace McCrorie's boots, and we're getting him for the price of a decent bottle of whiskey compared to what's floating about down south. And there's add-ons in there too, look, that could push the fee up a bit, 6-figure sum on top, but the basic deal, 3 years, with a 12-month club option tagged on the end. So we've got him locked in until the summer of 2029, potentially 2030. That's proper business. That's the kind of contract you give a player you actually believe in. Now, I want to talk about why this matters, because some of the younger ones watching might not remember Ross at Ibrox first time round. He came through our academy, him and his brother Robbie, boyhood Rangers fans, the pair of them. He made over 50 appearances for us in all competitions before he went off to Aberdeen in 2020, looking for regular first-team football. And you know what? I respect that. I respect a young lad who says, right, I want to play, I want to test myself, I'm not going to sit on a bench and waste my best years. That's the Rangers way, that, in a funny sort of way. Ambition. Standards. He went to Pittodrie. 3 seasons up there under Derek McInnes, who, as we all know now, is back in the dugout at Ibrox. And listen, that connection, that's not a small thing. That's massive, actually. McInnes brought him to Aberdeen. McInnes developed him. McInnes knows every inch of this lad's game. So when our new manager picks up the phone and says, "Son, come home," that carries weight that no other manager could carry. That's a relationship. That's trust. And I think that's why we beat the championship clubs to his signature. Because make no mistake, right? There was competition. The Rangers Review are clear on this. Several English championship sides wanted him. Bristol City had a new offer on the table to keep him. They'd already triggered the 1-year extension on his contract. They didn't want to lose him. But when Rangers came in, when McInnes came in, Ross McCrorie made his choice. And his choice was us. His choice was home. And I love that. I genuinely love that. Because for years, we've watched players choose the money down south, choose the comfort of the championship. And here's a Scotland international, a lad with options, saying, "No, I want to wear the jersey I grew up wanting to wear." That tells me something about where this club is heading under McInnes. Players want to be here again. Now, let's talk about what he actually brings, because this is where it gets really interesting. The reports are saying he's coming in primarily as a right-back. He's played most of his football at Bristol City out on the right, sometimes as a wing-back, sometimes as a more traditional full-back. Last season, 39 league appearances, 3 goals, 6 assists. Now that's not bad. That's not bad at all for a defender. 6 assists tells me the lad gets up the park, gets crosses in, contributes at the top end of the pitch. But here's the thing, and this is what I find fascinating, right? Look at Transfermarkt. Have a look yourself if you don't believe me. His 2 most played positions across his entire career are defensive midfielder, 73 games, and centre-back, 67 games. Not right-back, not wing-back, defensive midfielder and centre-back. He's a proper footballer, this lad. He can do a job anywhere across the back line, anywhere across the middle of the park. He's what I'd call a Swiss Army knife. You can pull him out, you can use him for whatever you need, and he gets the job done. And under McInnes at Aberdeen, where was he played? 19 games in defensive midfield, 4 as a right midfielder, 3 at centre-back, 3 in central midfield. McInnes has used him in the middle of the park more than he's used him at full-back. So I think, and this is just my reading of it, I think we might be in for a wee surprise. I think McInnes might bring him in and use him as a defensive midfielder, maybe a centre-back in a 3. Maybe rotate him, because that's the beauty of having a player like Ross McCrorie. You've got options, you've got flexibility. And in a long season, with Europe to think about, with cup runs, with the league, that flexibility is gold dust. Now, on a wider note, and I think this is important, this is the second signing of the window. Lawrence Shankland came in first on a free from Hearts. Another lad McInnes knows inside out, his captain at Tynecastle last season. And now McCrorie, who he managed at Aberdeen, so you can see what the manager is doing. But he's building around players he trusts, players he knows, players who know him. There's no guesswork here. There's no rolling the dice on some Belgian lad nobody's heard of who looked good on a YouTube compilation. This is proper, considered, intelligent recruitment. And after the absolute shambles of last summer's window, right, the Max Aarons loan, the Jayden Magoma loan, players coming and going like it was a revolving door at Central Station, this feels different. This feels like a plan. McInnes spoke about it himself. He talked about a recruitment team. Dan Purdy as technical director, Stig Ing Bjornaby on the performance side, Chairman Andrew Kavanagh, Chief Executive Jim Gillespie, all sitting round the table, having proper conversations, identifying targets they can actually get rather than chasing pipe dreams. And McInnes said something I really liked. He said the final decision on every signing comes down to him. The manager has the final say. That's the way it should be. That's the way it always should have been. Not some committee in a boardroom telling the manager who he's getting. The manager decides. The manager is accountable. That's how proper football clubs work. So look, where does this leave us? We finished 3rd last season under Danny Roll. 3rd. At Rangers Football Club. That's not acceptable, it's never been acceptable, and it'll never be acceptable. James Tavernier has gone. Aarons and Magoma have gone back to their parent clubs. Dujon Sterling can't stay fit for love nor money. We needed a right-back. We needed competition. We needed a Scottish heart in this team. And in Ross McCrorie, in one signing, we've ticked all those boxes. I'm excited. I'll admit it. I'm properly excited about this one. Because it feels right. It feels like a Rangers signing. A Scotland international and academy product, a lad who wanted to come home, signed for a sensible fee on a sensible contract by a manager who knows him inside and out. That's how you rebuild a football club. That's how you start to claw back what was taken from us by that lot across the road. Brick by brick, signing by signing, standards. So here's my question for you lot, and I want to see this debated in the comments, right? Get stuck in. Is Ross McCrorie a starter for us next season, or is he just a squad player? Because I've seen some people online saying he's not good enough to be a guaranteed starter at Rangers. I've seen others saying he should walk into the team. Where do you stand? Is he first choice right back? Is he our new defensive midfielder? Or is he a useful squad option and nothing more? Let me know down below. I want to read every single one. We are the people.